This one was world.
I guess I should ride with Lex.
They talk about man. Oh, no. Yeah, it's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to wrong, you get another legacy.
Gotta do the shit. When I do it carefully. You can lose everything you own over jealousy. When I met her, I ain't never sweat her, I just let her breathe. See you down, keep my foot on you, that's not my pedigree. At your throat, I done took her oath, I pray I never leave. I'm a different guy, you're surprised, tucked in my sleeve. Boy, you fucking stupid, soldier seat for some bloody bleed. True nation, cut the conversation, better keep it brief.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It ain't that they don't wanna know, we tell them, they just won't believe. It's about the journey, I ain't worried, moving at my speed. Saying we ain't much to be desired, gotta disagree. Scarring one of mine, then we spinning like rotisserie. Go against the odds, I'm ready, this another victory. Cut different, niggas moving foul, where the referee. Moving like the military, something they ain't never seen. One West world for the people, this is what they need.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
Shalom, 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 shalom. You in live Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, Precinct Captain of 10,000, not the Commandant General Yohana, Biblical Scripture Breakdown Class, and our All Stars, Yahweh Shema Alathan by Hashem Yahweh Shah, Azara Ra'ayah, Shalom, young man, out South Carolina, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, Breakathon. All right, let's get it on. Let's get it on. But even though sex is marriage and paper is not required, I want to know. We got a question coming out the gate. Got Officer Yagadar in the field with us. Y'all by Shem Yagadar.
What's going on?
I'm doing too wild. We got a question. First man, quick on the trigger. We got us a question. All right. So it says, young man Denny out of South Carolina says, even though sex is marriage and paper is not required, I want to know, is it wise to still get her a ring so she ain't got to speak, just lift up her hand and they walk away? Well, brother, let me tell you something. That ring don't mean nothing. People do not care about that ring. Sisters, take that ring off and go get down. You understand? Jay-Z made a song about it. He made a plenty of people that made a song about it. I don't know if you heard, but the whole idea and notion that Shalom Yatawab Tazarai, Shalom Yatawab Akwafanawa, Shalom, my Shalom Ka. The whole idea of, you know, a ring is not unlawful. To get it be a little confusing. You get your other wife a ring also. I don't know how that'll play out, but it's not something that you have to do. It's not required. And we brains to get out of that mindset of another nation of people's customs, because that ring can end up becoming and meaning more to many sisters. That ring means more than the actual man they get the ring from. A lot of times it'll be, especially in this world of society, it'll be a status symbol. Just to say I did it. There's a trend. It's called what is it like? It's young young and divorced by 30, something like that. Something like that. Well, it's a trend and it's a saying among popular circles to go get the ring, have the marriage, have the ceremony, which is the big deal. Most of it is about the actual ceremony, not the marriage itself, more than half of which end within the first 6 months. The American Christian get a ring and piece of paper divorce rate is, I think it's something like 60% for the first marriage, something like 46% for the second marriage. Um, Nobody really takes it all that seriously as you should. But the important thing that we should take seriously is who we have sex with. That's the point. That's an extremely important thing to take serious. That does not make it very far in the Black, Latino, and Native American community. Sex is marriage. You understand? But, secret lovers, me and Mrs. Jones got a thing going on. Girl, you get worried, Jay-Z, don't forget to put your ring back on. You understand? So we don't want to get in the mindset of that is what the marriage is. And that is something that's going to stop a whore from whoring. You understand? It can't be something symbolic. That's only going to last for so long. That's why in the UPK, we have rules. The Lord has rules that despite what's popular at a time, at one point in time, jumping over the broom meant that you were married when we were in slavery. The ceremony meant you were married. We were in slavery. The Lord says sex is marriage, and you understand that's the most important part. All right. So let's see if it was the second part. I want to know, other than adultery, what else is a lawful reason to leave a rib or for her to leave? There is no reason for a sister to leave a man. You cannot leave her husband. Unlike a man, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 25. And it should be around 26 in the Apocrypha. Men and women are not equal. There's a great level of responsibility that comes with being a man. It's a huge level of responsibility. And there's a great level of responsibility for a father to examine thoroughly and decide what take over the duties of being the Lord over his daughter. Unfortunately, because of Christianity, because of this society, because of the world, because of feminism, because of America, Western society, the actual idea and what and how and who God created a man to be is completely disregarded in this society altogether. That's why we fight and strive so hard in the ISUPK to re-raise the standard for both masculinity, fatherhood, husbandhood, a man of the Lord, and the standard for a wife, for a sister, for a daughter, for a mother, for a friend. God gave to examine, to prepare, to become one, and how to decide and find out if someone is not one of those things that I just mentioned, which is equally as important. You understand? A woman does not have the option to leave her man as long as he is alive. She cannot leave him for no reason. She cannot leave him. She can be separated from him. You understand? But she cannot leave him. A man cannot leave his woman. Adultery does not mean that you leave your woman. Adultery, in a righteous society, for the man to lay down with another man's woman, and most importantly for that woman. You understand? It's game over. You don't get another shot. That's why what Christ did was so revolutionary, to forgive that sister that they wanted to stone in the alleged act of adultery in the New Testament, so that he could give her another opportunity to change her life, which the law does not account for, which Christ had to come and explain to us. You understand? A woman does not get to leave a man. A man does not get to leave his woman or any woman that he has had sex with. That's a permanent thing. It cannot be undone. Trying to undo it ends up everybody getting in shootouts at the gas station, fist fights at the Thanksgiving and Christmas. You understand? Boyfriend and baby daddy both show up. You like one, mama like the other one. They get to killing each other at any holiday, just fill in the blank. 4th of July, Labor Day, Independence Day, also things that the Lord commanded us not to celebrate. All right. So just to clear that, shalom. More people joined us. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatham. All right. Shalom, shalom, brother. Shalom. I think it was the second part. Yahweh Shemal Athar Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. No sweat, brother. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatham. Okay. Second part. I want to know, other than adultery, what else is lawful reason to leave a rib? That's it. You understand? Now, if she just up and decides to leave, you understand, in this society, there's nothing that you can do. She want to go out and be with another man or a woman. No, in this damn society, who knows what the hell she'll do. But that's it. She's gone. Which is also why it is so important to not have that Christian Disney movie, soap opera, fairy tale nonsense in your brain. That the prince rides in on a white carriage and we be together forever, knight shining army. You the only one, me, Disney World, all of that romance, white man's way of framing his society. That's not nigger society. That's not what's in the Bible either. God allowed a man to have more than one woman. You understand? That thinking and mindset not only destroys sisters. There's a page I sent to the brothers I found on Facebook. There's a page called Do We All Have the Same Man? Where sisters is trying to play detective to find out that, yes, you all have the same man, just like it says in the Bible. And they got some secret group that's for women only that they can go and join and find out that their man is in fact a man. You understand? The Christian church has put a terrible spell on sisters, something that is unfeminine in every world. In the Asian, Arab, East Indian, African kingdom, there is no such a world. You understand? Little, slim to none, where one female of any species is paired 1-to-1 only with a male of a species. That is not how the Lord created life. That's not how it works. That's never been how it works. And the white man's witchcraft that he has seduced our people with ever since the Garden of Eden, teaching Eve that she could be equal to God, equal to a man, have the power that a man wields, have the knowledge that a man has, made her believe that she could be a queen, diva, boss, lady, goddess. And as a result, she ended up getting her whole family evicted from paradise. One son got murdered. One son caught a body, got turned into a white man. They got evicted. Now place to live, fill out applications, fill out jobs, get a resume together. Whole life turned upside down because the serpent told Eve this would make you a goddess, that people would worship you. You understand? This is a heavy question that you brought out, brother. It's a heavy question because it segues into part of what I was already planning on talking about here. And that was when we went to camp. For years, for decades, the Christian church has been teaching sisters, you know, I don't need a man. As long as I marry myself to my job, I'll be able to take care of myself and do whatever, which there's nothing wrong with having a career, having an education. In this evil society, Salakia, everybody is going to need a career and an education just for us to survive as a people, because the white man is the devil. But this notion that your career and your ability to get assistance from America, Now, when I say assistance from America, that is not just talking about housing, WIC, TANF, and Section 8. America gives assistance with education, with funding, with student loans, with grants. There was a grant, and among all the things that Donald Trump cut with that Doge and Elon Musk as soon as he got into office, which left hundreds of thousands of sisters without employment at all. As soon as he got into office, within the first 6 months, damn near 400,000 sisters directly were unemployed. Houses going, apartments going, cars going, all the things that you spend on that clearly say you're wasting money. This is too much to do your hair every week, hundreds of dollars. Nails every week, hundreds of dollars. Colors every week, hundreds of dollars. Car, $900 car note, $1,500 car note. You understand? Just things that a man would not approve of you doing. And step in to say you spending too much money, you wasted too much. How you going to afford that? Suppose it go up. Suppose they cut your hours on your job. Where's your emergency fund? All the things that someone with authority would be thinking about. You understand? Those are not the first thing that goes into a woman's head. I get this house. How do I take care of it? What happens if something happens? You understand? I got a roof. I can't change. Garage door, I don't know how it works. I got all of this wealth, yard, and security. Suppose somebody breaks into my house. Suppose somebody comes to rob me. Suppose they steal my car. It's just me, my money, my degree, and these kids. Suppose somebody come to do something to my kids or me. You understand? It's like stacking all your treasures in one place and putting a come and take something sign on top of it. You understand? But that is not how sisters think, which of course is segueing into part of what I was saying. Once we get to the campsite and we down there speaking, not only is it thousands, and I mean thousands of children just running in every possible direction. The transit police are out. The army is out. The city cops are out. All of these things are out. You understand? And it's completely out of order. The whole thing out of order. The kids is going every direction. And the worst part about it all is the number of homeless sisters, 40, 50, that have been told for decades by Christian preachers, as long as I'm married to Jesus, I got my career, I got my money, I got my ability to take care of myself. I only could get a man if I want one. What I need a man for. That a man got reduced to not the lordship, not the head, to make sure that life goes right and functions properly. A man got reduced to a paycheck, to a good time, to an option, you understand, to free food, to a hookup, to a link. And that's not the way that the Lord created society to function. You understand? And now sisters are homeless and the shelters are closing. The food banks are closing. The jobs are closing. The grants are closing. You understand? America set our people up in such a way to think that we could be independent of the way that God set life up, and it has cost us something terrible. You understand? Which completely ties into what your question was, brother, there. Adultery, you understand? What else? Reason for her to live, you understand? If she want to go, let her go ahead and go, man.
So like y'all,
let her go ahead and go. Don't be like the brother. I'm gonna come to you just a second. Don't be like the brother who, through frustration, ends up killing his wife. Ends up killing his wife and his kids, like the former lieutenant governor of Virginia, end up killing his wife and himself, like the brother in Louisiana just killed his 8 kids and then himself. Like the Lord don't want you to pour to have your entire soul be given away to some woman. The Lord don't want that. The Lord did not make that. You understand? There's so many safeguards and boundaries and things that is the opposite of how Christianity set life up to be. You understand? That destroy our people when we buy into their thinking and their way of operating just for it to let us down. You understand? So, like Yagadar, what was you gonna say, brother?
No, Salak out of one. I had that scripture that you wanted. I also had a precept, and then I had a comment. You know, a lot of our sisters in the world, that wedding ring is just is an advertisement sign for, you know, for a lot of brothers to talk to sisters just because of that ring. And then I also had that precept where Christ was saying that the only reason to leave her is for fornication.
Right. Go ahead and pull that scripture first.
Khan. This is Matthew chapter 19, verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her.
This is important. Hold on 1 second, Yagadar. We ain't reading the book now. It says Christ is explaining whosoever marry, or read that again one more time, like it's going to be broken down.
Khan. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife.
Whosoever shall put away his wife, saying that this is not my wife anymore. Keep going.
Except it be for fornication.
Except it be that she have done some unlawful sex. You understand? Keep going.
And shall marry another.
And shall marry another. Meaning he put away this one woman that he tired of for whatever reason, and then he go and take another woman because he don't want to deal with woman one anymore. It's not fun. She's old. Whatever the case is, he want to move on with his life, like some damn soap opera. He figure he off the hook because it's 2026. He's gonna end up getting killed at some cookout in a couple years, or get killed at a traffic stop, thinking that he can get out of what God said is permanent just because he moving on. God don't move on. Not in all things. Keep going.
Committeth adultery.
Except fornication. Except she have sex with another man, he cannot get rid of her, even to go and get another one. None of that Brandy and Monica, the boy is mine. You cannot do that. You're going to get yourself killed. You're going to be wondering, all of those news stories that you see on TV, she was a young mother, this and that. And she got kids by this brother. And then she leave this brother to go be with another man. And then this don't work out. She go be with my daughter, was so full of life. My daughter was this. She do everything for everybody. And she leave one man and go be with another man. I'm tired of him. He won't get himself together. My baby daddy, this and that. I found a new man. And then she end up getting killed at 25, 28, 29. That's because the Lord kills our people for committing adultery. Nobody considers this a death thing. Nobody considers this you'll die for having sex with more than one man if you are a woman. Nobody considers that. You understand? That's what the Bible calls a dark saying. It's not something that everybody would readily see and hear. Like, like God is good and all of these things you hear all the time. It's not something that come with rainbow and butterflies and everybody feel good at the end of it. But it is very important to save the lives of our people. You understand? Put away his wife except for fornication and marry another. Meaning he's committing adultery because he left woman number one to go and be with woman number two and did not keep them both. The only option to leave woman number one is if she goes and has sex with another man. Commit an unlawful sex act. This is not your woman anymore. You understand? Otherwise, even in the New Testament, you have to keep them both or all. You understand? All right. The water Yagadar. Give me that other scripture that you
This
were
is
holding.
this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. You understand? Begin a possession. Keep going.
A help like unto himself.
So a help like unto himself, meaning someone that is going to help him just like he is helping. A help like unto himself, meaning she is helping him. This world and society has tricked our sisters into believing that they are more than just help. Help is not a small thing. Help is not a little thing. Because our people are in captivity, and for generations, our people have lived our entire lives in slavery under another race of people and their system of life. We've lived our entire lives this way. Because of that, we don't realize how the Lord set life up. The companies and businesses that you work for, you are their help. You understand? The water for the scriptures in the chat. Most High in Christ says, you are their help. You understand? You get up out of your sleep, out of your bed, when you would be resting, when you would eat breakfast whenever you damn well please, where you would be able to get off your feet and rest your feet that's tired, where you would be able to take more time and soak in a tub or do something different with your hair, where you would be able to take time to cook your food and not have to eat food on the go and on the run and grabbing a bite here and there, where you would not sit in traffic for several hours a day, here and there, going back. You understand? Where you would not be sitting in an office, sitting at a desk, filling some company's paperwork, getting their records and registration, collecting fees for someone at a store, at a restaurant, at a gas station, cleaning their floors. You understand? Working in their government, filing their papers, getting their coffee, getting their suits, paying their taxes, getting money to pay rent to them, to pay utilities and light to them, getting cars from them, getting things from them. Our entire society, we are in slavery. You understand? And we are helping our oppressors. That is our entire life. If we were not helping our oppressors, so much of America's industries would not exist. If we all lived together like we were in Egypt on the black side of town, which is where we are supposed to be, it would be very limited how far all of us have to go on a regular basis. We wouldn't sit in traffic for hours because all the colored businesses would be on the colored side of town, and we would set things up convenient for us. That's how we had storefronts. We had storefront. Downstairs was what? The family lived upstairs. There was another entrance on the other side. On this side of the entrance is where the business is. What was downstairs? We didn't have a basement like you have a basement now. The basement had a door. What was on the door? Barbershop, hair salon, nail salon, dry cleaners, on your clothes, wash your clothes. You understand? The fish market, the restaurant, the soup kitchen, the steak and cheese spot. You understand? A brother was talking about Philadelphia or something when he talked about we didn't have no white restaurants. My daddy put my mama in a restaurant, and it was a restaurant. My daddy put my mama in the kitchen, and she sold dinners out the kitchen, and that became a restaurant. My daddy put my older brother and me and my sisters in a dry cleaners, and we opened the dry cleaners. We pressed and ironed and steamed clothes. My daddy put my sisters in a washroom, and we washed clothes and became a laundromat. And then we got more washers, and the laundromat became the family business. My uncle worked on shoes with nail and hammer and glue and rubber and wood. And guess what? That was the black shoemaker. That was what was downstairs from our houses upstairs where our families were. You understand? We didn't all need to travel all over the world to make society function. You see what I'm saying? This society has put us, and this society is going away. Hey, shalom, brother. Y'all by Shemel Shah Brakatah. All right, most high in Christ. Huh? Shalom, sis. Lord of Christ. Yahweh Shemal Shemel Shah. Right. This society is completely backwards, and it's abruptly coming to an end. The part of participation that we thought we had in America is coming to an end. You understand? And everybody knows it. That's why Spamberger wants to take away everybody's guns. Young kid in Maryland wants to take away everybody's guns. Because they know that society is coming to an end. And they know what's getting ready to happen is the fallout. That's why the army is on the goddamn street. No country you go to where you see the army on the street every day unless the country is at war. You understand? You're not supposed to see the army. The army is supposed to be in the barracks somewhere, overseas, conducting an operation, doing training exercises. They're not supposed to be on the street watching your bad kids walk around in circles making a bunch of noise. This place is coming to an end. You understand? Give me what you got, Yagadar.
That was the end of that one out of one. That Ecclesiastes chapter 34. Oh, Salaki, no, it wasn't. And a pillar of rest. Salaki out of one.
Okay, that was the end of that.
Yep.
And a what of rest?
A pillar of rest.
A pillar. A pillar is a support beam. You understand? It's a support beam. You know why those thousands of children are out in the street? Who knows? Who knows why all those children? They call it teen. It happened so much they had to come up with a term for it. They call it teen takeover. An entire elementary school just dumped into the streets. You understand? Like you would dump a bag of Legos, or you would just turn your purse upside down, sis, and just shake it, and just everything fall out on the bed. Lipstick and coins and nail files and purses and all kind of stuff. Earring backs, just dump it everywhere. Kids every damn where. Why all these kids in the street? Who knows? Who want to give it a shot? Who want to give it a shot? All right. All these kids doing in the street. Who want to give it a shot? Give it a shot. Young man, give it a shot. Raya, DeBar. Ana, where Ana at? Ana in here. Tawabaf. Rapayala. Who want to give it a shot? Kenyatta. Give it a shot, Kenyatta. All these kids in the street, Makwayala, Shakal, Yabakar, young brother Ja. Why all these kids just in the street going everywhere? Imada, you know. Imada, know. It's Tazarai. Tazarai knows. Azaraka, why all these kids just roaming the streets? What are they doing out here in the streets? Why are they out here? They getting fresh air? What they doing out here? All right. Says strong, independent women. All right, Yabakar. Shots fired. All right. Sister Raya said they don't have anyone there for them. That's nice and political. All right. Good political answer, Raya. No support and guidance. All right. No support and guidance. All right. That's good. No daddies. All right. Now the gloves coming off. Parent slaving. That's what you think? The parent slaving? That's a good guess. I remember when my parents used to slave. Did your parents used to slave, Sister Azaraka? I know my mother and father slaved. They used to slave. Young man said, because our people are destroyed. You right about that. Family broken. That's right. Following the social media influencer. He's a good guess. No pillars, no fathers. No, the father is the roof. Father is the door, the support beam, the floor. That's what the father is. Damn right. That's a good guess. Daddy is not dead. Here we go. Here we go out now. No, daddy is not dead. Doing what they think is cool. Yeah, they doing what they think is cool. They going missing like hell too. All over the internet. Have you seen my daughter? Have you seen my grandmama? Have you seen my grandbaby, my niece, my daughter, my sister's missing? Mom wasn't working, so spent a lot of time at grandma's. That's right. Ain't no more grandmas. Grandma in the streets. Cardi B is grandma now. You understand? Who's grandma? Old in the streets. Goddamn Tia and Tamara is in the streets at 50 years old. Vivica Fox is supposed to be grandma. She in the streets trying to find a man. She done fumbled 50 years of being fine, and now the game is over. You understand? The final touchdown has been scored. The damn game is almost over. She's still on the field trying to score a touchdown. Regina Hall too, still in the field trying to score a damn touchdown. What's her name? Nia Long too, strong and independent, and that Taraji P Henson, she in the field too, 50-something years old, still trying to score a touchdown, still fumbling, throwing interceptions. You understand? No strong man. That's right. Have nothing to do. They aren't being occupied with work to do. That's right. Grandma working and they can't retire. What was grandma doing before? That's right. Lisa Ray out there. She's still thinking she in the Players Club, trying to dictate to a man what he better do. She's 50 years old. The game over. The series done been canceled. She still thinks she diamond. Man better do this for me. Man better do this. While your smoke detector going off in the background. Still trying to dictate to a man, 50 years old, ain't figured out how to win the game yet. You understand? Come on with it, Yagadar. You got it, Yagadar. That's right. Like
I got a
Lord
precept
did not set life up to this way. Come on with it. Come on with it. This got to get fixed. This got to get fixed. Game over. Still in the field. She looking for a pass. The game over. Trophies that been handed out. The pick knees that got picked. She's still with a whole bunch of standards. Smoke detectors beep. You know why you don't hear smoke detectors beeping, Raya? Because you are married. You figured out how to win the game a while ago. Stupid Lisa Ray, she's still trying to catch a pass. She's still trying to catch an interception. That's why it's no smoke detectors beeping in your house. Go ahead, Yagadar.
This is Mark chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house.
No man can just run into a strong man's house. This is what a lot of the confusion has come. Because the God of Christianity that we have been taught is the white man's money. The God of Christianity is the white man's money. And a smooth switch, them preachers is pimps. They master manipulators. A smooth switch was done to make a woman believe that because she now had the money, had the degree, and this society started to give women the ability to own their own property, to have their own things, to have their own jobs, to be removed from under a man's authority. She can vote, she can join the military, you understand? Now, this translated to something that was not done in the rest of the world before, here in America. Shalom, Shalom.
Shalom, Shalom.
All right. Most ain't crack. Shalom. And what ended up happening is now the idea that there does not need to be a man over the house to secure the house. That idea permeated because the Christian church taught every sister who was going to bring him billions of dollars a year, which the Christian church has done. The Christian church taught the sister that she was the man of the house, or the house did not need to have a man in charge of it. And as a result, generations of that started to proliferate, started to grow, started to produce fruits. You understand? Give me Matazak, give me Matthew 18. Give me good tree and evil fruits. Find that for me. As it started to grow, the entire shift of how our society functions started to change drastically. And now it's such a foreign concept. The idea of what a man or what masculinity is, or what the even purpose of it is becoming all but a lost art. You understand? So read that again, what you had, Yagadar. It's a lot.
This is Mark chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house.
No man can enter into a house where there is a strong man there. The reputation for a man, a strong man, carries the house. You know why people don't invade the United States of America? Because they know America has something that they would have to deal with. They would have to deal with a strong man. Now, America has gotten significantly weaker year by year by putting less strong men in office, in power and authority, and like Spanberger, more feminine men, and all right out a woman altogether with woman values and woman thoughts, which may seem progressive. It may seem like it's a good thing to do. It may seem like it was progressive to remove the need for a man's authority to be over every house. It may seem like that was the best way to go. May not be a man everywhere. If society is now going to provide what a man would do, supposedly, without having him there to dictate or to police or marshal or strength or protect what goes on in that house, around that house, outside of that house, and with that house, then everything will function just fine. But that's not what happened. Keep going, Yagadar.
And spoil his goods.
And spoil what?
His goods.
His goods. This is something that gets lost in translation. You understand? And we're going to go over it. The children, the women who produce the children, which are the wife, because that's how you become a wife, they all belong to a man. The Lord's order is there for protection. Because our society is so broken and so backwards and upside down, that's why the Lord raised up the prophets to go and rebuild our house, to make a hedge and to seal up the gaps for all the things that the Lord set in place that are broken, that are out of bounds. You understand? So even without having a man to rule over the house, which most of our people do not, they still can get the correction, the protection, the counseling, and the authority to make sure that things don't go off the rails, which is what's happening with our people. As America inches closer and closer towards World War III, the United States government is preparing to cut off not just Black people, but its citizens altogether. You understand? And it's a mess. But we got to prepare our people so that the Lord will be with us. All right? It says, will spoil his house and his goods. All right? Any more on that, Yagadar?
Yes, sir. Except he will first bind the strong man.
The first thing that's done is the strong man has to be bound. You understand? It has to be bound. has to be restricted from his power. You understand? Has to have his authority taken away from his voice, from his control of what his children do, of what his woman does with the children, of where he can and cannot go, of what he can and cannot stop. Can't tell people how to dress, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what's appropriate for a little girl, for a woman, for a man, for a boy. All of those things today, they call you, you're a dictator. You're a narcissist. You want to control everything that I do. Well, if you don't have that, if you remove it altogether, you could end up homeless. You'd end up in the street homeless. Like many of those poor sisters, man, if you were there, it is absolutely heartbreaking to be looking at somebody's young grandmother at 45 and 48, 51 on the streets, homeless, with kids walking around, tourists walking around, saying, do you have some place that I can sleep? They closed all the shelters. All the women's places are gone. We don't have anywhere. I've never been in this situation before. I've worked all my life. I don't have a man. I don't have any kids. We stopped having those families that we had. There's no son or daughter and his life or her life to fall back on in case something get rough. There's nobody with a sofa or a basement anymore. Big mama gone. Ain't no more big mamas, and no more big mamas got made because daddy was gone. You can't have big mama without granddaddy. That's the part that gets forgotten. While everybody praising Medea, some sodomite in a wig and a dress, pretending to be a goddamn grandma, everybody forgets grandma wasn't homeless because daddy worked and built a house for grandma. That's why grandma wasn't homeless. That's why you got to go and stay at grandma's once your living situation fell apart. You got to go stay with grandma because grandma had granddaddy. And granddaddy, through all the complaints that everybody had about daddy, nobody was homeless while granddaddy was alive. Nobody. You may have gotten put out if you didn't act right because he wasn't going for it. But wasn't nobody homeless when granddaddy was alive. And these were things, that's why it's said to bind the strong man's house. You understand? Even though you may not have been able to work, may not have been able to have your own bank account, may not have been able to go out and vote, which was a lie because sisters was already working. Even when we were in slavery, the white woman's feminist fight infected our sisters to make our sisters think that her fight was their fight too. She trying to get away from the white man sexually abusing them because he's a nasty Trump bastard, you understand? And fighting for something that she never had and never had to do. But as a result, this would end up happening to our people, which the Lord never set it up for this way. Even while we in captivity, there's a solution for everything. All right. Let me get this here. Give me an enemy, sweet, not an enemy. Smooth things. Give me smooth things, Yagadar, in Psalms. Isaiah 30. That's what I want. Isaiah 30. And where do we want to start? Give me verse 9. Start at 30 and 9. Give me what you got, Matazah.
Khan, sir. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit.
This is important. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. It can't produce evil fruit. We've been in Christianity, and it has brought forth some of the most rotten, evil fruit imaginable. Like it has destroyed our people. America also has produced serial killers, murderers, robbers. All manner of evil have been produced in this place. Keep going.
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Like this tree is a corrupt tree, man. The Lord has been against this place from the very beginning. And God wants our people to be against this place as well. The Lord is getting ready to remove us out of America. And it's past time that we prepare, man. All blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, it's time for us to, it's way past time for us to build ourselves up. You understand? Give me Isaiah 30 and 1, Yagadar.
You want 1?
Yeah, start at verse 1. And hold 1 Corinthians 14 for me, Mataza, 14 and 33. Go ahead, Yagadar.
This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children.
The Lord said, woe, destruction and punishment to the rebellious children. You understand? Keep going.
Saith the Most High.
Saith the Lord. The Lord is saying this through the prophet Isaiah. Keep going.
That take counsel, but not of me.
That take counsel, comma. So you stop at take counsel. No sweat. Take counsel. Meaning as a people, we take counsel. We took counsel from Oprah since the 90s. Back before she was a billionaire. We took counsel from Oprah. We took counsel from rappers, from P. Diddy. You understand? Follow his lifestyle and his money. Rappers used to take counsel from Donald Trump. They would rap about Trump, 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 Trump. We doing it big like Trump. Now you find out what a disgusting bastard he was the whole time. All your rappers bigged him up and made him a black celebrity. Now you find out who he was all this time. Like we took counsel of preachers. We've been listening to preachers. While the prophets that the Lord set up have been telling you that preachers was nasty child molesters, that they were liars, they were robbers, that in the day of trouble, all of your going to church would not be there for you. And now our people are homeless and our kids in the street and the preacher cashing out. He getting out the game. Jamal Bryant took all of Baltimore's millions of dollars so he could go down to Atlanta, you understand, and sell weed. You understand? He left drug-infested, impoverished Baltimore to go down to Atlanta and sell weed. Oh, and be a nasty sodomite too. Can't leave that out. To take over Eddie Long's church, I believe, the king of the sodomites, the king of all sodomite preachers. You understand? Like that tree of Christianity is something that the Lord wants us to be against. All of their ways, all of those things, man. Keep going.
But not of me.
But not counsel of what the Lord actually wants. We're going to get the Lord's counsel. Keep going.
And that cover with a covering.
And we have covered ourselves with a covering. We've covered ourselves with democracy. We covered ourselves with the United States military's uniform, with fun, travel, and adventure, with the few, the proud, the Marines, would be all you can be, with a global force for good. We became sailors and airmen. We covered ourselves in politics. We became Democrats. We shaved our beards and cut lines into our head and wear tight pants and tight suits and wear stupid bow ties. We took counsel from Farrakhan, took counsel from Elijah Muhammad, and we joined the Nation of Islam and shaved our heads and shaved our beards and tried to take the Arabs' way of life. And then Brother Malcolm found out that it was white men in dresses running the whole thing that we thought was something black. And in our cities filled with Muslims, filled with Democrats, filled with Republicans, filled with Christians, became absolute war zones, which they still are to this day. Is Norfolk still a war zone? Is Richmond and Portsmouth still a war zone? Is Baltimore and Detroit still a war zone? Is Philadelphia still a war zone? What about Harlem? Did New Jersey get safe? Is Patterson safe now? Is Woodbridge safe now? Is DC safe? Did we accomplish? What about Chicago? What about Durham, North Carolina? What about Durham? What about Charlotte? Are they safe? Atlanta, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Little Rock, St. Louis? Is it safe yet? Surely Los Angeles is safe now. Indianapolis has got to be safe. We've been voting. We've been marching. We've been churching. We've been mosquing. All our problems is fixed. No. That's why we got to turn back and do things the Lord's way.
Salakia,
keep going.
Salakia,
go ahead.
Now, I was just gonna say, when you were saying that, talking about that cover with a covering. Yesterday, Virginia went out in droves and voted yes. Do you know that today that a judge struck that down and said that they are not allowed to use those maps? So all that voting they did yesterday, and the judge already done said it's illegal. You can't use it. And they right on time with you saying how we
everything
trust in
you
voting.
said.
Did you hear me, sir?
Say whatever you said one more time. The whole thing.
All right, Most High Christ, Salak y'all the one. Right when you were talking about cover with a covering, a notification popped up on my phone. Now, all that voting that they did yesterday to vote yes, a judge just struck it down today and said it's illegal for them to use those maps. So again, we trust in Egypt, we trust in this place, and that voting does not help us. Salakia.
Right. We voted and got the right to vote. And we voted for Barack Obama. And Barack Obama pushed the LGBT and abortions to the hilt. And now we are 25 million dead black babies, dead black and brown babies in the grave, as if the Lord will not answer a people that would murder their babies. In the news, it's sad. That's why I started the series, Sad Hard Lessons. In the news, there's been a lot of babies getting killed lately. You understand? I want you to hear me again. These prophets in the Bible were not beloved people. You might like them now, but they did not love Isaiah for the things he said that the Lord told him to say. Elijah was not loved. They did not love Christ. They didn't love Peter and Paul. They did not love Samuel. Jeremiah was not loved. They put Daniel in a den with lions. They put Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego in an oven. They were not loved for standing with the Lord. Nobody gave a damn when Noah preached for 120 years that water would fall from the sky and God was going to kill everybody. They didn't like them. They weren't going to invite them to dinner. You understand? This is a sad, hard lesson. That father went out to smoke and a baby fell 3 stories to his death. That's a terrible tragedy. That father in Louisiana, he went and killed 8 children. That's a terrible tragedy. A house full of babies, young babies between 2 and 12 years old, just burned to death in some house. The only babies that escaped were the 2 12-year-olds. They were at home by themselves. Why were they at home by themselves? Because our families then fell apart. Ain't no more grandma to leave the babies with. Ain't no more daddies in the house. The discipline that a daddy instilled in children is also gone. You understand? Which is a very understated thing. There's a discipline and a strength that comes from the Lord that having a father, you understand, instills in a man, instills in a young boy, instills in a young girl. And this society has made out many of our children, our youth, and our adults incompatible with the protection that comes from having a man be Lord over you. And that's a very dangerous thing. These babies, it was about 6 or 7 babies from 2 years old to 12 years old. And the only two babies that survived were the 11 and the 12 years old. All the rest of the babies, the fire was so bad that they couldn't even go in to try to rescue them. All they could do was pull their charred remains out. You understand? These words may seem repetitive. They may seem unnecessary. They may seem harsh and insensitive. But they are absolutely life and death necessary.
Right.
You understand? They are very, very necessary in order to save the lives of our people and the lives of our children. They are very necessary. And when our people do not get these words, do not get the counsel of the Most High, do not get the instructions that the Lord gives through the men that he set in the earth, you leave your children vulnerable. The mothers vulnerable, the brothers vulnerable, the babies vulnerable, the grandmothers vulnerable, the mentally ill vulnerable, the homeless vulnerable, the disabled vulnerable. You understand? The behaviorally challenged vulnerable, the poor vulnerable, the gullible vulnerable, the weak vulnerable, the strong vulnerable. You understand? All of the things that we have been able to cover ourselves with in America, be it your job, your money, the Lord called you in here, which so many more brothers and sisters have been called to come into the ISUPK so that you can fall under the protection and the guidance and leadership and the grace and mercy of the Lord's protection that our people forfeit by not coming in here, by not following the counsel that the Lord gives, by not following the counsel that a camp leader that God appoints to watch for your soul has told you to do through the Spirit of the Most High, time after time after time. Please, not for my sake, obey what the Lord has said. The things that you hear from me are not from me. They don't come from me. I give you an order. It does not come from me. It comes from Commanding General Yohana, who the Lord gives instruction to. Hear my words. They come from the Lord. Don't make the Lord take your children from you. Don't make the Lord take everything from you. Make no mistake, as terrible and as heartbreaking and as sad and as depressing and as traumatizing as all the evil is that happens to our people. Give me Amos chapter 3 and verse 6. Real quick. I've said this because the Lord has had me to say this to so many brothers and so many sisters that Commanding General Yohana has said this to. Countless brothers and sisters over the years that they did not heed the warning and instructions. Do you know we've been on the street speaking at that DC location for about 25 years? Before brothers and sisters lost Section 8, before they cut Wick and Tanith, before the shelters were closed, before Woman Thou Art Loose, before What Have You Done For Me Lately, before I Don't Need No Man, before He Better Level Up, I'm a Boss Babe, before Hot Girl Summer, before Rainbow Revolution, LGBT, Pride Month, Pride Week, Coming Out Week, before all of this evil got into full swing, the Lord say, I rose up early, sending my prophets, and ye would not hear them. Too many people have ignored the words that God said through his prophets for too long, and that does not exempt our people from the bill. You understand? Give me what you got, Yagadar.
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 6. shall a trumpet be blown in the city.
The Lord is using an analogy. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? When God send the ISUPK on the streets, in your city, your state, your country, the Lord is blowing a trumpet. Our people had better stop ignoring the voice of the prophets of God. It's a terrible feeling. It's a terrible thing what is happening. And it is not the last terrible things that are going to happen. Don't let these terrible things happen to you and your son and your daughter and your wife and your children. Take this thing seriously. The Lord called you in here. Keep going, Yagadar.
And the people not be afraid.
There's a reason why they have sirens on the ambulance, on the police car, on the fire truck, to blow a trumpet in the city, a notice, a warning. You understand? You get an Amber Alert. It gets into your phone, and automatically there's a trumpet blown in the city to get the people's attention. Keep going.
Shall there be evil in a city?
Shall your children burn up in a house? What?
Shall there be evil in a city?
Shall a brother go crazy and kill all of his children? What?
Evil in a city.
Shall your kids go missing? What?
Evil in a city.
Shall hundreds of thousands of sisters get fired from their jobs and become homeless? What?
Evil in a city.
Shall your preacher take all your money because you keep going to church, and then he go and leave when you need him and the resources that you've been stacking up in a place you thought was the Lord's storehouse? And them Israelites been on the streets telling you that preachers were robbers and thieves and were not sent by the Lord. And you continued to go to church, and you kept bringing your children to those child molesters, even after you received the warning from the Lord. What did the Lord say?
Evil. Shall there be evil in a city?
Shall anything evil happen in a city? Keep going.
And the Most High have not done it.
Shall anything evil happen and God have not done it? Give me verse 7.
Verse 7. Surely the Most High power will do nothing.
Surely God in heaven is not going to do anything. Keep going.
But he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
This is a secret revealed by the Most High that his servants, the prophets, deliver unto the people. You understand? You are hearing the secrets of the Most High. Too many brothers and sisters have ignored the secrets that the Lord revealed unto his prophets, and now they are paying for it. Do not end up paying for it for disregarding the words that you hear and you get from the priests and prophets of the Lord in the ISUPK.
That's right.
You get directed to do something, do it. It's very important. You may not think it's important. Someone is watching for your soul. Someone is watching for you in a way that you don't and cannot understand. Don't take that as a light thing. I promise you, those 12-year-olds who had their little baby brothers and sisters burned up in that house with them, that the day before they were all together playing, and the next day most of them were gone. I promise they wish they had the presence and the protection of the Lord over their children and their family. I promise. These evil comes from the Lord. All right. So let's get back to what the Lord is saying, man. There's a lot of evil headed to America, and most of our people are without the Lord's protection. Most. That's the kids in the street. That's everybody from the top on down. We got a lot of ground to cover. The Lord called you to come into this truth. You take this thing seriously. You understand? Make sure you take this seriously. You can say whatever to a man. The Lord can get fed up and take action. Ain't nothing
right.
nobody can do when the Lord take action. All right. Give me Isaiah chapter 30. Take me back to verse 1.
Khan, this is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children,
Keep going.
saith the Most High,
You got it.
that take counsel,
They're taking counsel, getting advice. Take counsel. Keep going.
but not of me.
Not the Lord's counsel. The Lord's counsel is in here in the Isupk. Keep going.
And that cover with a covering,
And then wrap themselves up in something. Keep going.
but not of my spirit,
Not of the spirit of the Lord. Keep going.
that they may add sin to sin,
That they may add some evil they're already doing to some new evil. They want to rule over man to now you gonna be the man. You understand? It's more and more sisters that now, because of the spread of this LGBTQUWWF, this nonsense, that two women is getting together and deciding that one woman is gonna get pregnant, and then somebody, I guess they flip a coin to see who's gonna be the daddy. I guess the stronger of the two women decide that one of them is going to be the daddy. You understand? And raising a beyond destroyed generation. Like beyond confused, beyond destroyed. There's a daddy, there's a mommy daddy, and then there's just a regular mommy. But they both girls. It's just confusing as hell. You understand? Like we done took some counsel, and this counsel has failed us. You understand? That's a very dangerous thing. There's no protection from the Lord for that. And we got to pray our people turn their lives around, man. That's a terrible way. Keep going.
verse 2, that walk to go down into Egypt.
Why does it keep saying that walk? It's all your protests. Protesting down to America. Down to the oppressors. You walking, you marching, holding your sign. No justice, no peace. You understand? Fight the power. Million man march. March for this. March for that. Gay march, straight march. Coming out march. No kings march. Get out and vote march. That's not the way that the Lord said. If our people put as much energy into serving the Lord and taking the Lord's counsel as we put into voting and marching, you understand? We'd have our own housing in Norfolk, in Richmond. We've been voting for black leaders in black cities since when? What, the 80s? The 90s? Did that vote fix the plumbing in Richmond? Did it fix the plumbing in Tidewater Gardens, the sewage coming out of the pipes in Young Terrace, in Curry Park? It didn't fix any of it. It didn't get the walls repainted, didn't get the kitchens remodeled. Votes didn't fix any of our problems. It didn't get better schools. Hell, they closed the schools down. Didn't get better teachers. Didn't get better streets. Didn't make food more affordable. Hell, they closed the grocery stores down. Didn't lower rent. Didn't lower mortgage. Didn't raise wages. Didn't build up revenue. Didn't get better health care. Didn't get better doctors, better hospitals. All this voting and marching we've been doing, we were better off before we voted and marched.
Sure.
We were way better off. They hated us so much they weren't trying to join us. We had to live on the colored side of town. And the more of us it was, the more they couldn't stand us and the stronger we became. The more we invented. You understand? Keep going.
and have not asked at my mouth.
And have not asked the Lord, what are we supposed to do? Go ahead.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
To strengthen ourselves in the strength of Pharaoh. Who's Pharaoh? The king, the leader. Who's the king and the leader in America? Trump and his government, his regime, his politics. People that have all been paid off. Everybody working for money. They've all been paid. If you go look at all of these politicians, years before, Pete Hegseth said, this is ridiculous. We shouldn't be in no forever wars. We should have never did it. What did Trump say? We never going to be in no forever wars. No more war in the Middle East. Biden was stupid for these wars. What did my man with the eyeshadow? Big, what's his name with the vice president? What's his name?
JD Vance, I don't want.
What's his name?
JD Vance.
Vance. Yeah, JD Vance. He said the same thing. We're not going to have war. And it's not going to be war. This economy, it can't survive another 20-year war. Here they are, all of them. Pam Bondi, too. I think there should be prosecution for this. Pam Bondi laughing at the Epstein survivors standing behind her. She in front of them just laughing. She'd have been paid off. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the same. She didn't got paid off. She didn't got rich and quit and stepped up into some more money. Bondi did the same damn thing. You understand? I don't know how that damn Kennedy is still alive. You understand? He got like 9 brain cells left. And all he can do with them brain cells is push-ups. He ain't good for nothing else. You understand? But they done all took a payoff. You done went and joined the military, find out that everybody's a damn politician. The soldiers, have you seen the soldiers' rations? You understand? Family show the pictures. Half a dried up can of cut carrots, and half a little sausage patty. You understand? The goddamn prison trays was more full of food than the soldiers' rations. Ships that caught on fire. The Ike caught on fire. Another destroyer caught on fire. 120 sailors lost their bunks. They just sleeping on the ground in the ship. You done all of this to get out your neighborhood just to sleep on the floor. You could have stayed at grandma's. At least you knew breakfast would be served in the morning when you woke up. Like, we strengthened ourselves thinking that going to our oppressors was the solution. And it failed. It failed. If you went to the military from Norfolk and you come back home to Norfolk, just about everything that you left is gone. They done closed it down. It's gone. Like, that's what the Lord said. We done trusted and strengthened ourselves in the strength of politics in America. Keep going.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
And trust in the shadow of Egypt, the shadow of America, the shadow of bondage, the economy. You know who is not concerned about the economy? The Chinese. You ain't heard no Chinese leader. You never even met a Chinese leader before. Or an Arab leader. Not in America. An East Indian leader. Who controls the East Indian community? How do they all get subways and rental properties? Who controls them? Somebody's in charge. Who controls the Korean community? They're not talking about, the rent, the gas prices going up, the grocery stores. You don't know where the hell they are. Because they did not trust in Egypt. You understand? We're supposed to have our own, and that's exactly what we're working on. We got farms in Texas. We got farmland, North Carolina. We got to work on. Like, what we're supposed to do is, if every nation of people corners out a piece for themselves, the first step is for us to turn back to our identity. Because as a Mexican, America hates Mexicans. As a so-called Latino Hispanic, they don't like us. As a black person, they can't stand you. Didn't like you when you were colored. Didn't like you when you was a Negro. Didn't like you when you was an Afro-American, African-American, Black American, Hip-Hop American, Foundational Black American, Moorish American, they've always hated us as a people. And those things are not respectable. We turn back and become Israelites, now they have to respect that. Because not only do we have our culture, we have our language, we have our high holy days. You understand? We get Israelites recognized in the Federal Bureau of Prisons. That's what we've been working on. Israelites recognize. We don't rise for the national anthem or pledge allegiance to the flag. You understand? We don't join our oppressors' military. You have rights as a people of race, of religion, of all kinds of things. We have those things as a people if we served and obeyed the Most High. You understand? And that's what we're working on doing. That's what we've been doing. You understand? We'd have rights to our own economy, an entire market carved out for the children of Israel. We would have all of that. Our own security. You seen the Isupk Shamar. We didn't dial 911 when that Hamite, the white girl, tried to sneak into the Passover. We didn't call 911. Some brothers came out the trees and snatched that little Hamite up and drug him the hell out the Passover, which is what's supposed to happen. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
And this place has become a shame unto us. It's become shameful what we have become in this place. You understand? Keep going.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
Anybody got any questions? Make sure you type your questions into the chat. Anybody got any questions? All right. And the shadow, the trust in the shadow of Egypt. You're confused. Somebody had a question?
No, I was going to say, Salaki, Adawan, we did have one question from Aqua Friday. I'll just remind you, Adawan.
Okay, where is it? I didn't know she had a question. Type it in there.
Kawakan. Here it is. It says, Salakia, can I have a breakdown of 1 Samuel 18? Was it okay for Saul to ask David to kill for a bride's price? And why does it seem Saul disliked David?
That's good. All right, let's get to that. 1 Samuel 18. You want the 18th chapter or a specific verse? Or you just want to know what happened with the story? Which is it, sis? Where you at, sis? There we go. Just want to know what happened. All right. She just want to know what happened. Here's what happened. Give me verse 15. Give me 1 Samuel 18 and 5. King David was a mighty warrior, and we had war going on with the Africans that lived around us called the Philistines. They were the strongest family of the Africans to this day. That is what these lying Greco-Roman, Greco-Arab Palestinian babies that live in the land of Palestine, the Philistines, or Palashath in the Hebrew. The Philistines were Africans, Hamites, not these Arab children. Not these Arab children. All right. Those are not the real Philistines living in Palestine. All right.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 5. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him.
And King David went wherever Saul sent him. David was not the king. The Lord had already chosen David to be the king, but nobody knew but Samuel, Jesse, his father, David, and I think that was it. All right. Time had to play out before David got his throne, but he was already the king that the Lord had chose. All right. David went out. Go ahead.
And behaved himself wisely.
He was very wise in how he behaved himself. He was a man of war, and he was skillful in fighting. We had so many enemies, and the only way that your many enemies stop being your enemies is war. The only reason our enemies have shops and businesses, the same people that King David fought are people who have businesses in the black community today. The Chinese, they got carryouts, they got dry cleaners. The Koreans got liquor stores. These are the people, the Moabites, the children of Ammon, the Arab fried chicken spots, the Arab smoke shops. You understand? The Somalis is in there. They doing taxes. They doing all kind of stuff, setting themselves up with that Hamite food and them businesses with that Hamite smell, all of that there. These are the people King David fought for 40 years. All right? The only reason that they're here now is because there are no strong men to fight them off. Now, we are not physically fighting anybody. We in the land of our captivity. The stranger that's among us is supposed to rise up very high. If we obey the Lord and set up 1 or 2 shops of our own, they would get pushed out because nobody would shop there. If everybody can go and get chicken from Deborah and Raya, then nobody would go to the Chinese man. But you understand, we in captivity, and this society, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek and the Philistines, they are all gathered together, even though they may fight against each other to oppress our people by default. All right. So that's just a sidebar. King David is wise. Keep going. Just read it through.
And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants.
Now, all the people accept and love King David. They see him. They know he get down. He putting it on for the nation. Everybody loves him. And Saul's servants also love King David. David. Because he's not the king yet, but everybody love him like he the king. Give me verse 6.
Verse 6. And it came to pass as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the woman came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing.
The woman came everywhere. The women just running in the streets for David. They see David coming. He done been out busting heads from sun up to sundown, busting heads, slashing guts, heads rolling. And here he come down the street, you understand? Sisters turning up. They running outside to see David. You know who they not running outside to see? Saul. You see where it's going? You see where it's going, Ryan? See where it's going, sis? Right. Keep going.
Singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets and with joy and with instruments of music. Verse 7.
They coming to meet King Saul. They coming to meet the king. They coming to meet King Saul. They singing. They coming to see Saul. The king coming down the block, beating down your block. Here we go. Now what they singing? What they saying? Keep going.
Verse 7. And the woman answered one another as they played and said,
Stop. Do you know what it means when it says the women answered one another as they played? Do you know what that means? This is real black. It's real black.
Salakia, sir.
Hold on. I'm going to let the sister to ask the question. I want to see if she get it before you go. What does that mean? Remember, every word in the Bible is important. Every word. And the woman answered one another as they played. What are they doing? They running outside. They singing and dancing. They coming to meet the king. They got tabourets. They got joy. They got instrument. They got music. They answered. All right, come on now, sis. You got to say something now. There we go. No, all right, go ahead, Mataza. You got it. She's struck.
Oh, God, sir. They're like cheering. They're chanting. They're cheering to each other.
A little bit more. It's a little bit more specific. The women answered one another. No, I got it. I got it. You took the exit. It's all right, sis. I'm giving it to you. Now, the women answered one another as they played. Meaning some women are saying something, and then other women say something else. Like when we sing, Babylon is falling.
Right.
And somebody else also sings, Babylon is
Rise
falling.
no more.
And then somebody say to rise no more. And then another group of brothers say to rise no more. Somebody say we fight for Yahweh. Then the other people say and the crowns of gold. You understand? There's a call and response. All right. So everybody knows they part of the song. Just remember, when you hear that Frankie Beverly hit, everybody that's black. It's a black test. If you fail the test, you get put out the class. After you hear dun dun dun, and then Frankie Beverly say, "Whoa, what come next?" Come on, y'all. Let's see if you black. What comes next after that? After Frankie Beverly hit that note, what's the next thing that happened? No, you got to have the exact response. What happens next? You tiptoeing around it, sis. You got to get blacker than that. What is everybody supposed to do? What's everybody supposed to say?
Salaki, sir, if I could.
No, the chat got to answer this. We're doing a black chat.
The
chat got to answer this. Where's Yabakar and Deborah and Anad and Tazarai, Zarakah, Hadassah? Where's all the black people in the chat? The chat got to answer this. What's the only acceptable black response after Frankie Beverly hit that note? What's the next thing everybody is supposed to do? Because this is what's happening in the scripture. It's not looking good. Everybody slow on these responses. Not looking good. I see y'all ain't all that black, huh? No, that's not the appropriate response. You telling me what's happening. You ain't telling me to read the scripture again, Yagadar. After Frankie Beverly hit that note, what is everybody supposed to do when that beat drop? You out, Yabakar? He said he out. I'm about to show you about to turn in your black card. Oh my gosh, I'm so ashamed of you all. I'm thoroughly ashamed this day. Oh my gosh. Come on. All right, that's right. The water, Azaraka and Ra'aya are black. All right. Yeah, there you go. Everybody who's black says, "You make me happy."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the only correct response in this scripture. Yes, that is the only correct response. You understand? I'm ashamed of a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all didn't respond. First Samuel chapter 18 and verse 7. The sisters then knew what to say. Read it, Yagadar.
Verse 7. And the women answered one another as they played.
They answered one another. They knew what to do when the beat dropped. They didn't pause. Everybody knew their part. I'm gonna have to look at a lot of y'all sideways next time I see y'all. Keep going, Yagadar.
And said, Saul has slain his thousands.
Saul have slain his thousands. They got a song now. Saul have slain his thousands. And when David, they say that, Saul have slain his thousands. And then what does everybody else say?
And David his 10,000s.
And David his 10,000s. Just imagine the swag surf go around. The swag surf is coming. And everybody moving left to right. Everybody moving left to right. And all the sisters say, Saul have slain his thousands. And then when the beat dropped, everybody then says, and David slain his 10,000. But Saul is the king. How did King Saul feel about that? I never knew whose song that was. You should have said that out loud, brother. I'm gonna walk in. Thy rib has covered thy nakedness. The water is our record. This day have she covered thee. With Frankie Beverly and Mays. Everybody black should know what to do at that point. It's all right, brother. We in the truth now. We're gonna blacken everybody up. It's all right. Verse 8.
Verse 8. And Saul was very wroth.
Yeah, Saul was mad about that shit. He wasn't feeling that at all. You understand? Saul's verse came up. Only a little bit of people sung it. But when it was King David's verse, everybody jumped up. Everybody turned up. You understand? He like, nigga, I'm the king.
That's right.
Keep going.
And the saying displeased him.
Yeah, he was mad about that. That's why it felt like he was mad at King David. He was mad at King David. He tried to kill him several times. He was very angry because King David was a much better killer than he was. But he killed in his name. He killed and served at the behest of King Saul. But the Lord wanted King David to be king. The people could tell. Saul's servants could tell. Saul knew it. And the writing was on the wall, but Saul was fighting against it.
Right.
David is 10,000. And now he's saying, what more can he have but the kingdom? He gonna take the kingdom from me. They singing for him like this nigga's the king. You understand? Mm-hmm. Now give me verse 10.
Verse 10. And it came to pass on the morrow.
Hold up. Give me verse 9.
Verse 9. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward.
He been looking at David sideways ever since then. They cheering for David. You understand? Saying they don't dance like that when it's my verse. They don't sing like that when it's my verse. I said, okay, I see you. He felt like, you understand? He felt like ain't nobody came to see you, Otis. Saul was hurt. He was hurt to his soul. Now, verse 10 is what happened.
Verse 10. And it came to pass on the morrow. And
by the next day, this is what happened.
that the evil spirit from the Most High came upon Saul.
The evil what from who?
The evil spirit from the Most High came upon Saul.
Rakah. Rakah alahaya. Ra'ayah. Evil spirit came. An evil spirit from the power. He was jealous. That's why the scripture in the New Testament, Christ says, let not the sun go down upon thy wrath. If thy brother offend thee, go and tell him his fault between he and thee alone. David loved King Saul. David had nothing but the utmost love and respect for King Saul, and King Saul's jealousy made him do something evil and turn on King David. The Lord had already rejected King Saul. You understand? He was angry at David because the Lord was with him more than with Saul. Keep going.
And he prophesied in the midst of the house.
In the midst of the house, he's speaking. An evil spirit came upon him to test David. Keep going.
And David played with his hand.
David played with his hands. That's black man talk. He's shadow boxing. He's good with his hands. He played with his hands. You understand? They used to say this, see me with the hands. They don't say it anymore. The young boys don't fight. Pants too tight. Nobody moves their feet anymore. You understand?
Right.
Keep going.
As at other times.
He always practiced in warfare. He was skilled in battle. Keep going.
And there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
And Saul had a javelin in his hand. Javelin is a very long spear. And he threw it at King David. You understand? He really hated King David. He had an evil spirit on him, and he hated him. Ended up trying to kill him, hunted him down, everything. You know how the story goes. It did not work. The Lord ended up being with David. David became the king. Saul committed suicide once the Hamites surrounded him and was going to take him. You understand? Because the Lord was not with him. What he did was evil. You understand? But that's how it was. No, he definitely wanted to obtain a high dowry, something that he figured David might not be able to do. As Saul to kill for 1,000 brides place. Like the dowry was very high. Rakah means evil, sister. It just means evil. Rakah means evil. An evil spirit from the Lord. You understand? Is there a specific scripture that you're saying, or you just reading it somewhere? You reading that scripture, if you say to his brother Rakah, or saying that your brother is evil without a cause, what Christ was saying in the New Testament, that's what you're talking about? Yeah, that's all it means. You calling your brother evil when he has not done anything evil. You just hate your brother for no reason. Why this is important is because you can hate on a man or hate on a brother or hate on a sister. They've not done anything wrong. If something happened that offends you, you're supposed to be able to go to your brother or sister, he and me alone. But you hate your brother or sister without a cause, eventually you might end up trying to harm them or kill or unalive them if we haven't already got cut off. You see what I'm saying? And that's usually what happened. 90% of the homicides in the black community are done by people who've known each other since elementary school. Someone that you've always hated since Miss Johnson's 4th grade math class. You made fun of me when I got that answer wrong. Everybody laughed at me. And, you know, we was like 10. And, you know, now we 22. And I catch you coming out the gas station and now I shoot you. That's usually how it goes. You understand? Took my girl in middle school, 14, 15. You knew I liked her. You went, took her, and now she want to mess with me. So 7, 8 years later, I kill you. That's just that simple. That's how it goes. Considering the difference between this and the ending of my name. Oh, yeah. The difference between this and the ending of your name. It means once you put something else in front of it, it means different words. It could mean a different word. A zaraka is a whole. It's actually a sentence. You understand? It's a different word. Like Ra'ash means the head or the beginning. But in the beginning is Bara'ash, Yath, which is Genesis. That's the book of Genesis. In the beginnings, in the headings, Bara'ashya. But Ra'ash by itself is just head or the beginning. But Yarash, which is the same word, you understand, means to inherit. But it's the same letters, but it's not the same word, which before and after it changes it. That's how our language works. It's still the same letters. In English, it's the same letters, but it's different altogether with us. All right. Okay, so where were we? I think that was it on our question. Yeah, the 100, he just wanted a high dowry for one of his daughters. He's a warrior. He wanted something that maybe he would not be able to obtain, that he couldn't get the 100, the 100 foreskins. And King David, I believe, bought him 200 foreskins.
That's right.
Something way beyond what was asked. Super righteous brother, hardworking brother. And of course, a hater just hates you regardless. It don't matter. The better you do, the more they hate. And an evil spirit from the Lord will come upon you, hating your brother without a cause. Eventually, you end up trying to harm your brother or harm your sister, which happens to our people all the time. That's why these things are what our sons and daughters and brothers and sisters should be learning. Because if they don't learn this, then they'll end up at the Cheesecake Factory and your daughters will be stabbing each other over the bill because, who don't never have no damn money, but always got new shoes and her hair is done. That's a knife fight right there. She getting stabbed. You know what I'm saying? But nobody would think that they raised the daughter that would stab her best friend because she ordered, too many cheddar biscuits. You see what I'm saying? Nobody thinks they're raising that daughter, but they all raised that daughter because everybody got in the knife fight at the restaurant. You know what I'm saying? So that's it over there.
Salak Yadawan.
Go ahead.
We got another question from Akwaf Dabara.
Okay, great.
She said, Salak Yadawan, does the ISUPK conduct background checks on new brothers coming into the truth? I ask because even though people become new in the truth, some past are evil.
Right. So when brother or sister comes into the school, you mean a criminal background check? Is that what you're saying? I noticed you said brothers too. You didn't say nothing about sisters. The ISUPK conduct a background check on sisters. You see just how much trouble is coming down the pipeline. How much trouble is in this dress. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you can see the story now. There's no sweat. It's still creepy to ask for foot. Yeah, he did that. The purpose is to make sure that that he was not able to do it. He figured you die before you could do it, so that you die before you do it. The goal was he wanted him to die so that he couldn't get the foreskins. He thought it was something beyond what he can do, something beyond. The goal is like saying, well, what I got to do to get this? Go up in the sky and snatch me a star. And then the nigga come back with 3 stars.
Damn right.
You understand? He come back with 3 stars. You're like, God damn it.
Damn right.
The goal is, like, you just got to remember, think black people. I'm trying to say something so either you'll think it's too ridiculous and you don't try, or it's something that if you do try, chances are you'll fail because I want you to fail. You see what I'm saying? He didn't want him to succeed. King David succeeded. Saul still tried to stiff him and not give him the prize that he earned. When Saul became king, he said, go and get me that wife, those wives that I earned. Go get me those because I already paid for them. And he tried to withhold those daughters, withhold those wives that he earned. He tried to withhold them, which is also an evil thing to do because he paid and he was promised those wives, which he ended up getting. You understand? All right. Isupk, the background checks of brothers and sisters coming into the truth. We assume that every brother and sister, that all of you are absolutely terrible. That's what we do. We assume that everybody is terrible. Everybody is a murderer. Everybody is the worst thing possible that they could possibly be. And for this reason, we put strict, borderline discipline, cruelty, that some would say, on every brother and sister before giving you an opportunity to become a member of this cult. We put rules in place that nobody will follow, even though they want to go and make themselves troopers in fake Israelite groups, even though they want to go and make their own fake Passovers, make their own fake generals, deacons, officers, and captains, after they said there was no need to do such a thing ever, which they all changed 10 years later, after they all make themselves generals. No, we assume that everybody was absolutely terrible and that we are trying to reform all of the terrible people in the world that the Lord has called in here. That's what we do. That's why when a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 1 year. They're to be saluted only. They're here to learn and shed themselves of the world. You understand? That's the first step. Who are they in contact with? The camp leader. Someone who is not disillusioned by your beautiful face, by your sad story, by you needing a place to stay, by your lack of a job, by your hard life, by you getting out of the military, by all of your money, by your cars and your houses, by your success, by your failure, by your kids, by your wives, by you agreeing, by you disagreeing. Someone who is not easily driven, who is not a sweetheart, who is not thinking the benefit of the doubt, who does not believe in the best in everybody. I don't believe none of that shit. That's why Commander General Your Honor put me in charge of Virginia. That's why there's another brother just like that in charge of wherever else you go and you find the Isupk. And it is why you brothers and you sisters better come in here and follow the rules that we put in place for your safety and for the safety of everyone else, so that we can change all of the horrible brothers and sisters through the Spirit of the Most High in Christ. So we can change them all, everybody. That's why. Safest thing to do. You understand? We know that you're all murderers. All murderers and terrible, horrible people. You understand? And we're going to go forward from there. You understand? And try to instill the best that the Lord has to offer in every single brother or sister. That's what we do. Reality is most don't make it. Most don't make it. And that's how the Lord wants. All right? And that's what we do. All right. Let me know you got some more. Good questions. It's good question. You understand? Since about 14 and 15, I've been assuming just about everyone I come across is a serial killer. So that's what I've been. I figured that was the safest thing to do by the amount of murders and murderers that I've had to sit with over the years. I just figured everybody's a serial killer. It's the safest thing to do. Am I willing to get in this car with you? How can this turn out? How bad can this turn out? What am I prepared to deal with? All right, let's go. But no, I am the boss. Sis, no sweat. Go ahead. All right, what's next? We got more questions.
I don't see any more questions out of one. We had left off
You
at
said you had another one, right?
Salaki out of one. I think that was all I see. I didn't see any more questions. I'll double check and make sure, but I don't think there's any more.
Okay, no sweat. All right, you were holding something.
So we had Officer Kara, also Salaki Matazah Kara was her First Corinthians. We never did get down to Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9 and 10. Did you want to finish those first?
Yes, let's just go ahead and jump to 9 and 10, please.
Kawakan, this is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9. That this is a rebellious people.
That our people are rebellious. We've been that way. Since the Lord delivered us out of Egypt, most of our people died in the wilderness. Died free in the wilderness. You understand? We just did not want to serve the Lord. Keep going.
Lying children.
Lying children. Children just won't tell the truth. Not going to tell the truth. A lot of your kids regardless. These lies end up with all your kids in the street. You know why your kids in the street? All the kids are roaming the street at 10 to 20, 10 to 19. They roaming the street because there's nothing but lies in that house. Lies about the tooth fairy, lies about the Easter bunny, lies about Jesus being white, lies about what race I am, lies about Iraq and Saudi Arabia being God. Just a bunch of damn lies. Lies about who's your real mother, who's your real father. Just a bunch of damn lies. You work hard, you'll succeed. Lies. Race doesn't matter. Lies. Everybody's equal. Lies. That's why your kids in the street. Lying children. Keep going.
Children that would not hear the law of the Most High.
Children that won't hear God's laws. They won't hear God's instructions. Most of our people still refuse to hear the Lord's instructions. You understand? It's been that way for a very long time. This did not just start. What you're seeing now is generations of lying children that have refused to hear the word of the Lord. There was a time that everybody knew it was wrong to steal. Yep. There was a time when everybody knew it was wrong to lie. But there were some things that you could lie about, just because. Then there was a time when everybody knew it was wrong to have interracial marriage. That if you were a colored man, you didn't belong with the slave master's daughter. You didn't belong in a house. You didn't belong in a bed. You didn't belong on her side of town. If you had to work there, once you get off, hurry up and get back to the black side of town. Then we got a lying preacher told us that we should look forward to being on their side of town. Then we moved in their neighborhood. They left and built suburbs and took all the money and resources. And we've been in the cities struggling to make ends meet ever since. And now generations that were taught those lies. You vote, you integrate, go to school, you understand, wait in line, raise your hand, rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. We all bleed red, and we believe things that the law of the Lord teaches us the opposite. There was a time when everybody knew that if you had sex with someone, you stayed together. This was a very big thing. This was a huge decision. And what have we done? We got to find a way to stay together now. There was a time. And gradually, you don't have to stay together. If we can't figure this out, we should just go our separate ways. I had to meet you here yesterday. Let the sideshow begin. It's over. Then that generation raised people, and now, what? Free food. That's what you saved as my phone. Your free food. Pizza Hut, Domino's, Sneaky Link. You understand? Like lying children that did not want the law of the Lord. Keep going.
Verse 10, which say to the seers.
Which say to the seers. He that was called a seer in old days is now called a prophet. You understand? That's 1 Samuel chapter 9. I think it's around verse 3, verse 6, something like that. It's called a prophet. They say to the prophets, the men that the Lord set up, what do they say?
See not.
Don't see. Don't see what's going on here. Don't tell us what the Lord is saying. We ain't trying to hear that. And you go in there talking about that. Don't eat pork. Don't smoke. We not trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. We gonna do what we gonna do. We gonna turn up, live how we want. I ain't trying to hear that. Keep going.
And to the prophets.
And to the prophets. Keep going.
Prophesy not unto us right things.
Don't tell us what the Lord told us to do in the future. Don't tell us about what's going to happen in the future. I'm not trying to hear that. We living for today. You only live once. There was a time when our people used to know that when you die, you came back. We spent a couple generations pretending to be white people. Niggas talking about YOLO. You only live once. Thinking like a white man now. Keep going.
Speak unto us smooth things.
Say things that feel good. You can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. Well, maybe I'm not trying to catch flies. Maybe I'm trying to catch people. Say something smooth. Talk like a preacher. Barack Obama talked like a preacher. And that's why he won. Martin Luther King talked like a preacher. He spoke like a preacher. Al Sharpton been talking like a preacher. I bet ain't nobody ever seen Al Sharpton's church. Jesse Jackson talked like a preacher. Ain't nobody never seen Jesse Jackson's church. What's the church Jesse Jackson teach at every Sunday? Who does the Wednesday night Bible study class at Al Sharpton's church? Ain't nobody never seen Jesse Jackson do no Wednesday night Bible study. Bunch of scammers. Keep going.
Prophesied deceits.
And prophesied deceits. Here's one of the greatest deceits that they said in the name of the Lord. Give me that 1 Corinthians 14 that you hold, Matazah.
Come on, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion.
God did not make confusion. Skip up to 32, please.
Come, verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
The spirits of the true prophets of the Lord that have always been in the earth, that have died and came back into the earth, that spirit always comes back and finds where all the other prophets of God are. The Isupk is the school where the spirits of the prophets that come back into the earth, we all find each other. It's like that every time we come back into the earth, the spirits of the prophets all find each other to get back together to do the work of the Lord. It's always been that way. That's what's being said. That's what the scripture is saying. You wonder why everybody does not come in here? Because the spirits of the prophets know that there is an order, that everybody's not equal. You can't all go do your own thing your own way. The Lord does not work that way. It has never been that way. There's always been people who hated the prophets, who hated Christ, who refused to follow or obey them. There's always been fake Israelite groups. There's always been the Sadducees and Pharisees. That's why we're not stopping them from teaching in their fake Israelite groups. We're not telling them to get off the street. The purple faggots tried to run people up off the block. The candy canes try to threaten brothers not to speak. We ain't try to stop nobody. And ain't nobody gonna try to stop us. Keep going.
Verse 33.
That's right, Phil.
For the Most High is not the author of confusion.
The Lord is not the author of confusion. All of these fake Israelite groups and all the things they teach confuse everybody. There was a time that everybody knew that shalom was what Israelites say. SHALAM. Fake Israelites started copying the white Jewish man saying shalom. Then they started saying shalom after they left the truth to go and make their own religions. And now people are saying shalom, which they made up after 2000, after most brothers and sisters left the truth to go to the house of David. And then they left the house of David because that was the whole spirit of it, to break away from serving God anyway. Then they left the house of David, formed GMS, formed the Candy Canes, formed the all-white group. You understand? Then they formed the Purple Canes. Then they broke off from there. And then here comes Sakari and all of these other breakoffs of breakoffs of breakoffs, none of which are in the truth, because the Lord is not the author of confusion. They made their own breakdowns. They started putting baby doll tassels on the end of their t-shirts to make hula dresses. None of that has ever been Israelite custom. Never. It was never. The truth existed and came back into the earth in the 60s. And from the 60s until 2000, before everybody left the school, except for the generals and Commanding General Yohana, there was never a shalom. There was never none of those things. The Shabbat shalom, happy Sabbath, Shabbat Easter, none of that stuff. Pork shape-ups, dreadlocks, none of that stuff was ever taught. White women, separate Passovers, mac and cheese at the Passovers, all kind of garbage. None of that was ever taught. Never. But they made confusion. And the biggest, it's terrible English. And the biggest thing of confusion when it comes to God and the Bible is what we are getting ready to read after the Lord had Paul write these words. The Most High is not the author of confusion. What brings about this confusion? Keep going.
But of peace.
But of peace. How do we make, and keep peace? We got to fight against confusion. Keep going.
As in all churches of the saints.
As in all the churches, all the schools. By Saparia. That's what church is in the New Testament. It's a school, not what the Christian church teaches. And you can tell just from reading the Bible and these scriptures how and what the church teaches is not what's in the Bible. Keep going.
That's right. Verse 34. Let your women keep silence in the churches.
Let your woman keep silence. Don't have your woman up running every damn thing, talking everywhere, filling everything with how she feels and what she thinks, what she wants. Serving God is not about a woman. You understand? Let your woman keep silence in the churches. The Christian church has taught that there's a men's church and a woman's church, a men's ministry and a woman's ministry. Women are not made to be a separate thing from men. The job that a woman has and what the Lord created a woman for is something different from what he created a man for. But a woman is not separate and independent from a man. That's what the sisters were saying on the streets that are homeless. Do you have somewhere for the women? Do you have classes for the women? Is there something for the women? Where can I gather for the women? The Lord never set up for all the women to gather somewhere and do a woman thing. You understand? The spirit of the Lord is not to have a woman's God and a man type God. The Lord didn't make a woman to get close to God. No, get close to God. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord made a woman to get close to her man. That's the purpose. That's what the whole New Testament is saying over and over again. This evil society in the Christian church made a world where women are essentially on their own. God did not make a woman to be on her own. You understand? That's an evil thing that the church has done. Keep going.
For it is not permitted unto them to speak.
It is not permitted unto a woman to speak, to lead, to teach, to take the authority, to be the head over something. It is not permitted for a woman to speak. That's what it means. That does not mean a woman cannot talk. That does not mean a woman cannot ask questions. That does not mean a woman cannot be present. But the focal point and goal is not to have a place full of women, because the service of the Lord, the work of the Lord, is not something a woman can do. That's why he said we want to keep the confusion down. Paul understood something in these schools that he set up. Keep going.
But they are commanded.
But they are commanded. They have an order that's given. Something that this society does not give a woman. Some order, some rules, some commandments, a structure, a head over you, giving instructions and orders that you don't have an option to follow or not follow. They are what?
Commanded.
Keep going.
To be under obedience.
There's some obedience that a woman is commanded to have in the New Testament that the Christian church does not teach a woman she's required to have. That leads to her and her kids being on the street. Keep going.
As also saith the law.
That saith what?
The law.
This is written in the law. It's all over the Old Testament, and it is also in the New Testament. A woman who wants to control everything and be in power and rule. The Lord did not make a woman to do that. That is not the spirit that the Lord, that spirit is an evil spirit that the Christian church puts on sisters. You understand? It's a very evil spirit, and it drives their kids to be in the street at 10 o'clock, at 10 and 11 and 12 years old. You understand? Which is insane. Keep going.
Verse 35. And if they will learn, Salaki, and if they will learn anything.
If they will actually learn something, if they want to learn something, they want to focus on something, they want to learn something, keep going.
Let them ask their husbands at home.
Let them ask their husbands at home. Why does it say let them ask their husbands at home? Why does it say that? Because chances are their husband is already telling them to do something that they are not doing. They're already saying something. Hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? Did you do that? It's about 5-6 times out of 10, she's trying to tell him to do something, to get him to do something. If she'll learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. Why? Because the Bible is not about women's empowerment. This is the most empowering and the safest thing for a woman, is to build her man up good and strong, so that another nation of people cannot come and suck all the resources out of the community. You understand? Keep going.
For it is a shame for women to speak in the church.
It is a shameful thing for women to speak in the church. The Lord said it is a shame. Why does he say it's a shame? Why would the Lord even say that? Give me skip me down to verse 40. Yagadar, give me 1 Corinthians 11:3.
Verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Let things be done decently and in order. This order brings the protection of the Lord. Give me what you got, Yagadar, 11:3. This is life-saving information.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I will have you know.
I need you to know this. This is what the Lord said. Go ahead.
That the head of every man is Yahushua.
The head of every man is Christ. Christ is the example and the instruction of every man. That does not mean every man reports to Christ directly. There's a chain of command like in anything else. You understand? I report to somebody, the general above me, they report to somebody, they report to somebody, Commander General Yohana reports to Christ. There's a chain of command. You do not go straight to God, straight to Christ. A woman, as a woman, you report to your man. If you don't have one, then you report whatever's going on, whatever is happening. There is still a head you report to. It is supposed to be your father. This whole purpose for this is to build up the man strong enough to handle and secure his house, his goods, his community. That is the purpose. With strong men, everything else falls in line and gets protection. You understand? That's always how it is. The Christian church in America teaches you women and children. That is a recipe to destabilize everything. Because when you go out in the street, you know who out in the street? All the women and children. Keep going.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. The woman has a head over her. Keep going.
And the head of Yahushua is the Most High.
And the head of Christ, Christ himself has a head over him. He is not God. The way the Christian church lies and say he is not the Most High. Christ himself has a head over him. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying.
Every man that is praying, sending up prayers to the Most High, or speaking the word of the Most High out on the street like we do at camp, praying or prophesying. Keep going.
Having his head covered.
Having the crown of his head covered, like how the Jewish man does with them small hats. Having the crown of his head covered.
Dishonoreth his head.
He dishonoreth the authority over him, because the Lord made the man to be the head. There should not be something covering the crown of his head. That is a dishonor to the Most High. The Lord is explaining it. Keep going.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head.
But something that a woman will do, praying or prophesying, will dishonor her head, because there is a head over her that requires her head to be covered. This is a spiritual thing. There's a spiritual thing as much as it is a physical thing, so that all things can be done decency and in order. Before the world changed, the spirit has to change. That's why sisters got to cover their head during the class, cover their head during the prayers. You understand? Keep going.
For that is even all one, as if she were shaven.
Right. Skip me down to verse 7. It's like as if she shaved her head off. All right, which a woman is not supposed to do. She's not supposed to shave off all of her hair. Keep going.
Verse 7. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head.
There's a reason why a man should not have the crown of his head covered doing these things. Keep going.
For as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High.
The man is the image and the glory of the Most High. The Black, Latino, Native American man is the image and glory of the Most High. You understand? Not Jesus. Not Jesus. An actual man is the image and glory of the Most High. The Christian church then lied, telling everybody they're in some personal relationship with Jesus, making every sister halfway damn schizophrenic. You understand? Singing songs during tragedy and, you know, quoting song lyrics, thinking that they in the damn Bible when they are not. Expecting to sing their way through trouble. Like the Christian church put our people in this position, man. Keep going, Yagador.
But the woman is the glory of the man.
The woman is the glory of who?
The man.
God. Of who?
The man.
Herself. Who?
The man.
The woman is the glory of the man. That's why the Lord created the woman, to be the glory of the man, not the glory of God. You understand? The Bible is teaching and explaining the proper spirit to be in. You understand? Your spirit is not trying to get some relationship with God. Everything about you is to be tied to the man. You understand? Everything about the Bible is to teach up and strengthen to make the man a better leader to secure his house and his goods and stand for the Lord. You understand? Keep going.
For the man is not of the woman.
The man is not of the woman. The man does not come from a woman. That lie that the Christian church teaches. The man does not come from a woman. Men give life. Women don't give life. Women carry life. I say man puts life into her. That's how the Lord set it up. It's not 50-50. It's not halfway around. It's not a change like the seasons. Keep going.
But the woman of the man.
The woman is of the man. Keep going.
Verse 9. Neither was the man created for the woman.
Neither was a man created for the woman. Had the Christian church been teaching sisters this, sisters would not be on the street homeless. They would not be asking strangers, do you have some place for me to stay? Which is a terrible position that they have left these sisters in, man. That is a terrible position. Somebody's grandma, aunts, and mothers with feet hurting and bad backs and knees hurting and everything on the street with their stuff in a suitcase like they heading to the airport because of these goddamn preachers teaching that the woman was nigh unto God. So she didn't build her family. She didn't build her man. She didn't build a family. She didn't build up the head and the strength to make sure that would foresee danger down the road as she spent all her money on cars she couldn't afford, houses she couldn't afford, luxuries and trips that she would use up all her emergency resources so that when the day of trouble came, there was nothing left to fall back on. And then the church closed their doors and the shelters go out of business. You understand? Read that again.
Verse 9. Neither was the man created for the woman.
The man was not created for the woman. The man was not made, is not created to serve a woman. That's what the Christian church got all wrong. That evil spirit has destabilized everybody. It's destabilized the kids. The kids think they the most important thing. Destabilize the sisters. They think they the most important thing. Destabilize the man. They don't know where the hell to fit. Like everything is done in decency and in order. And that order needs to be respected and protected, both spiritually and physically, man, in order to put our people back in place. Keep going.
But the woman for the man.
The woman is made for the man. You understand? All right. Keep going. Give me verse 10.
Verse 10. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels.
Right. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head, or an authority on her head, because of the angels. And the angels, this is in English. You understand? In English, it's translated from Greek. It's talking about because of the powers or the authority or the autonomium over her. That is why for this cause, she has this power, this representation by her head being covered. That is a very necessary spirit. You understand? Because that is how the protection of the Lord flows over this nation. So let me see. Do we got time? We at 9:30. Let me see. See if we get the Father wake if. Uh-uh. And we coming up on summer. Let's see. The Father waketh. I know it's in the Apocrypha. Let me get it.
Salaki Adawan.
42. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 9.
Yeah, it's 42. I'm just trying to see where would I.
Salaki.
Let's start at 9. Yeah, let's start at 9. It really starts at 9. Start at 9.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter.
The father waketh for the daughter. It don't say the father waketh for the son. The scripture says, he that instructeth his son troubleth his enemies. You understand? The scripture says the father waketh for the daughter, meaning he's losing. Keep going. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Go ahead.
When no man knoweth.
When there's no man actually knows, this father is up. Why? For the daughter. Keep going.
And the care for her taketh away sleep.
And him caring for this daughter, he is losing sleep. It takes away his sleep. He's losing sleep, thinking about how to care for this daughter. All the roadblocks, all the problems, all the pitfalls, all the traps to try to navigate for this daughter, these daughters. The care of his daughter is taking away sleep. You understand? Because only the father understands all the troubles and traps that this daughter could step into in a single moment. Keep going.
When she is young.
When she is young. You understand? When she is young, the father is thinking about the care of her. Keep going.
Lest she pass away the flower of her age.
Lest she pass away the flower of her age, meaning the flower of her age is a time frame when she begins to blossom into a woman. Father is caring for this sister, for this daughter, thinking about the responsibilities that come next. What do I do for this daughter? You understand? How can I raise and teach this daughter? You understand? Before the rest of the world gets an opportunity to teach her something else, gets an opportunity to groom her some way, to train her how to think, what is right, what is wrong. And unfortunately, in this society, the society teaches and trains most sisters. You understand? Because there's a strong man who has been bound or destroyed by this society. In most cases, he's not even in the picture anywhere, i.e. Sexy Red. He don't have strength over his daughter. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, they don't have strength over their daughter. You understand? Otherwise, they would not be doing or saying the things that they doing and saying for money to the entire world. This is why the father is thinking the care of her taketh away sleep. Keep going.
And being married.
And being married. Being married, you understand, the flower of her age, what she will do in her young age once she begins to blossom. You understand? Once she gets her instructions from Cardi B and Lotto and Megan Thee Stallion. Keep going.
Lest she should be hated.
Lest she should be hated. You understand? Lest she be hated. Why would she be hated? Keep going.
Verse 10. In her virginity.
In her years. Virginity is a time frame in a woman's life. It is not one specific thing. You understand? Keep going.
Lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house.
Lest she be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house. Before her father can marry her off to someone, lest she already have a child before it is time for her father to give her away, when she begins to blossom. You understand? This is the care for her taketh away sleep. You understand? Which unfortunately happens with so many. It's almost damn near the expected trajectory for so many of our sisters, was damn near our whole society community as a people. You understand? That's why it said a strong man must be bound for his goods to be spoiled before she chooses and sets a path for herself that is not examined, that is not thought out, that is not thought about how a family will come from this relationship, who will support, who is prepared to take on the duty and responsibility of carrying out the father's duties now with this daughter. You understand? This is what the father is concerned about. This is not what she is concerned about. This is not what anybody's concerned about until afterwards. But that's why it says the father waketh. All right.
You didn't need to call it.
All right. What was this here?
And having an husband.
Inhabiting husband. What the hell is this damn pop up? Go ahead.
Lest she should misbehave herself.
That she should misbehave herself. You understand? Misbehave herself. Which is unfortunately, that's a lot of what you see. Sisters misbehaving everywhere. And unfortunately, this is what the kids learn. Kids end up misbehaving everywhere, doing exactly what they've seen the mother do. That's why these things are here in the scriptures. And this is also why the Christian church has fought so hard to remove the reverence and the power and the respect that the father, the man, is supposed to have over his children, over his wife or wives. Do you understand? Keep going.
And when she is married.
And when she is married, which is the point, is what the whole that's what Paul is saying. That's what the whole point is. Keep going.
Lest she should be barren.
Lest she should be barren and end up with no children at all. You understand? It used to be that people would think something was wrong with the sister if she did not have children. That's how it was. That's why the Lord made a covenant and said that there would be none feeble, none barren among you, because of these curses we got from the Most High from not keeping his commandments. We end up with all kind of problems and trouble. Don't sweat none of that. They said the exact same thing. Rebecca was barren. Who else was barren? Sarah was 96. She didn't have no kids. You understand? And of course, you see how that turned out. One of Jacob's wives didn't have any kids. Everybody ended up with a child. 12 kids, 13, 14 kids total. Everybody got to be a mom. You see what I'm saying? So keep going.
Verse 11. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter.
A shameless daughter. A daughter that has no care about what she says out of her mouth, how she carries herself, how she behaves herself. Keep watch over a shameless daughter. Mom might think it's cute. Mom might see a reflection of herself. You understand? But the father is thinking and looking something else. He sees something different. And in most cases, what he sees is not desired. His correction is not desired. Nobody want to hear what a man got to say until all the problems fall out afterwards. Don't dress her like that. Don't do that. Don't buy that. You shouldn't do that. Let me see that book bag. Got a whole nother outfit inside the book bag. Sisters all on the internet and all the talk shows. All the hoes get together and talk about how they grew up. Yeah, we used to do this, and we'd have a whole nother outfit in our book bag. So once we left school and mama couldn't see it anymore, we would change our clothes in school, and then we would change before we went to go home. They used to call it being fast. You understand? It ain't called being fast no more. It's called being a teenage mom. That's what it ends up being. You understand? These are things the father waketh. This is what's on the father's mind. You understand? The father doesn't live in Pleasantville. The father doesn't live in everything gonna be all right land. He can't live there. You can live there. A man cannot live that way. Things are all right because there are men who are not having everything be all right. That's how things get all right for you. You understand? The tire is not going to fall on your foot when you change the tire. You're not supposed to fall off the ladder, putting things up on the roof, nailing things to the wall. You're not supposed to fall off the ladder. You're not supposed to be on no goddamn ladder. You understand? Keep going.
Lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies.
Lest all of your enemies, you become a laughing stock because your daughter is Cardi B, pregnant on the goddamn internet in front of a toddler wearing a pamper that got more clothes on than your pregnant naked daughter on the goddamn internet in a bikini for the world to see her. Pregnant and hoeing at the same time. Be a laughing stock before the world. Offset tried to marry this sister, and she made him a laughing stock with his pregnant wife scissoring on another woman, humping the damn floor, 8 months pregnant, 6 months pregnant, kissing and scissoring on Megan Thee Stallion, make him a laughing stock before the world. She's still married, already pregnant with another man. How much shame can that father endure? How much shame can that mother endure? How much shame can that husband endure? She learned how to be this way from somewhere. You can say, oh, her parents didn't teach her that. Did she get taught not to do this? Because the Christian church produces this spirit. An evil tree cannot bring forth good fruits. Keep going.
And a byword in the city.
And a byword in the city. They're going to say she in the streets. You understand? Keep going.
And a reproach among the people.
And a reproach among the people. Everybody is saying, don't be like that. Don't be like them. Don't be like that. You understand? Skip me down to 14. We got to wrap it up real quick. What time we at? We at 37. Okay. Give me 14.
Verse 14. Better is the churlishness of a man than a courteous woman.
Better is the churlishness of a man. The churlishness of a man. This is an example. The churlishness of a man. There was a time where many of the old grandfathers, I don't know if they still have them now, because granddaddies ain't as old as they used to be. The churlishness of a man would be the harshness of a man. I don't know if everybody had the granddaddy, but some granddaddies, they didn't do a lot of smiling. They didn't smile a lot. They didn't talk a lot. You understand? They didn't have a whole lot to say. They wasn't trying to hear you say a whole lot either. They were very serious about a lot of things. They weren't happy all the damn time. They were regulating things. You understand? I remember countless aunts. Daddy, why are you mad all the time? Why you get out here with that foolishness? Goddamn it, leave me alone. Making all that goddamn noise. What the hell are you happy about? Everybody happy all the damn time. Want me to be happy. Want me to smile. Out of here with that goddamn foolishness. It was a rough old man. And people didn't know why those old rough men were old and rough that way. But because of the things that they seen and the concerns that they had and the life that they had endured, it made them hard to survive the life, to provide stability for the generations that now were able to come and benefit off of those hardships, to look at him and wonder, what the hell you so mad about? What you so rough about? Better is the churlishness or the hardness of a man than the courteousness of a woman. Than a courteous woman. And a woman would say, you got everything you need now? Are you all right? Everything taken care of? Can I get you something else? The Lord said, better is that type of man than that type of woman. Why? He says, I say which bringeth shame and reproach. Not a kind woman or a friendly or a helpful woman, but a type of woman that is courteous, meaning she is available for anyone who would want her to do something. It's better for a man to be harsh You understand? Than for anyone who want to do something. You understand? That's what the Lord is saying. Those grumpy, angry old men, were chased out of society. They didn't want that angry old man and all of his wisdom and what he saw. You understand? And now you remember, now you can see why he was that way. All those angry men, you can all come into the ISUPK now. And through the spirit of the Most High, we'll raise up more churlish men that stand for the Lord, and more a society where all of our sisters can become wonderful, sweet princesses, and all of our sons and daughters will live and get strong and grow old and proper, man. And with that, we'll pass the class over to the Shamar, man. Y'all go ahead and clap it up. Right? 946.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Start at the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are off limits for 1 year. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 1 year, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashara means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. What you do is go to isupk.com, click on tithes and donations, and follow the steps from there. Make sure you keep your receipts. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Right now, we are now in the Feast of First Fruits. All right, that's 7 Sabbaths and 1 day, which is 50 days. All right, so keep a lookout for the closing of the Feast of First Fruits. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, black shirt, black pants, black headband / war scarf. Sisters may not be able to be troopers, but if you want to be a sister in the school, have your head covered, wear a dress, ready to learn. With that, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher, Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Ba'Shem
Shabarakatah.
Yahweh Barakatham.
Yadimata. Sar La'adwafi means turn to the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh
Shamar al-Tan Bahashem Yahweh Shah.
Yadimata. With that, class dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're